All right, and we're live in the Quantum Collective. All right, Dan, how do we start?
No plan, Dan. How about some good news? Anyone got any good news they want to share? We'll kick it off in that way.
Sounds good to me.
I've just
Well,
been having more like, miraculous balancing and harmonizing of the system with the Healy. Had some stuff pop up in the last couple weeks. One of them being a old back injury got inflamed, and just using the Healy and really getting some pretty quick relief from things that I wouldn't think I would get relief from. So I did a scan, and it was like menopause. And so I run the menopause, and I had been running all the pain programs and the sciatic programs and the joint programs and everything, and it was like giving me some relief. But then I run the migraine program and the menopause program, and then my back pain gets like 90% better.
mm,
So just such an interesting thing to be like, okay, what is actually going on with my body, and how is this like it just it's miraculous and fascinating.
for sure.
Yeah.
I hear with that. I've gone from I shared about the skin programs a couple of weeks ago and how beautiful I'm looking and my wrinkles have disappeared. But I've gone to I'm doing the large intestine program for movements because that's something that I've had since I was 5 years old. Is this like inability to move as much as I would like. So watch this space, but I think I'm only like 5 days in, but I'm doing it every day. And I feel like it's definitely having a positive effect, but I'm interested to keep on doing a particular program for a long-standing thing to see what it actually does. Because even when I know it does sleep well, I know it does skin well because I've got the proof. I am the proof. But then it's like, but then this one would be monumental if this actually works, where nothing, other therapies, colonics, all that sort of stuff do take the edge off, but nothing has really given me, it's getting it back to 100%. So interesting to track that one. Watch this space.
Yeah, I used that large intestine, or I think it was just intestine, or no, maybe it was gastrointestinal that I did. I did the gastrointestinal, and for the next 5 days, I was literally just clearing out like 4 or 5 times a day. I was like, holy shit.
Literally.
Yes, I guess pun intended.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty amazing. While we're on shares like that, ladies in the group, Teresa and I bought these vaginal stems, so you can actually put it inside of you. And I started to come on with a yeast infection, and I ran the bacteria and I ran the local wound support. And I did that twice. I did that 3 times. I ran them. I think the bacteria just once and the local wound support twice, and it totally went away, which is pretty amazing. So that felt monumental because I usually have to go to the gynecologist and get something for that. And it was like, boom, totally cleared. And I'm sure there's a lot of other stuff that you can do with the vaginal stem. It just, any kind of trauma, any kind of imbalances, UTIs, root chakra stuff. Like, I'm just excited to kind of dive in with that and see what else I can what else will happen.
Yeah. Cool. That's awesome.
Very nice. Yeah, it's and I want to chuck in the latest discovery for me, which is it was out of here. So my sponsor put me onto the as we've said, we've got the I Ching program, which is in there in the resonance. There's the 64 hexagrams, which for those that do the gene keys work, each one of the I Ching hexagrams relates directly to the gene keys. So essentially, you do have the gene keys program in there. And so what's super cool is, out of here was, I knew it was there, but I hadn't really been putting it to use. And she encouraged me to do it and do a scan on the I Ching and then run that for like an hour in the morning while you're doing other stuff. Now it's a bit tricky because when you're running it, you can't turn that screen off on your phone. It needs to be on the whole time. So I do it for probably about 26 minutes while Felix and I are having breakfast and joking about. Then I'll just tuck that on. And I've substantially noticed an effect from it. And it's like, because the I Ching, the Gene Keys is all about, they used to call it the book of change, because it was all about dealing with transformation, dealing with changes and mutations that are going on in our bodies, etc. And so what I've found is that when I run that in the morning, that it kind of helps restabilize and kind of bring the stability and the clarity around the shadows that might be firing up in me. And every time I've noticed after that's done, and it's sometimes about half an hour after the program finishes that I actually am noticing the change. So that's what I highly recommend. If you're into the Gene Keys, give that a crack. And you don't need to worry about what the keys are and what they're saying as much as just run the vibration for half an hour, 26 minutes. And I'd love to hear how you guys go, because I've been finding it really helpful.
Oh. Go, bro.
Quick question on that, Mark, is would it be beneficial, because we can run specific Gene Keys, like we can just pick one of them, correct? Just like you can pick one of the box in the back of the resonance. Can you just pick one?
My understanding was you need to run the set of them, but to be honest, Brooke, I haven't actually nailed down deeper to confirm that. But from my understanding was you need to run the set.
Okay. Because I've seen that you can run one box flower essence or one materia medica. So I'm wondering if you can run one I Ching as well. I was wondering how you would feel, how it would feel to like be studying the one Gene Key and then running that specific Gene Key that's like my Gene Key, like out of the ones. Like as I'm studying it, running it, and then like it would be like an extra layer of the full embodiment of it.
Absolutely. How do you do that, Brooke? How do you choose just one?
I don't know. I'm asking if that's possible. I know it's possible with the box.
That's what I'm asking. With the bark ones, how do you do that? Is it?
Oh, I went in and you go into box in the resonance, and then it should have a list of all the box flowers, and you can choose them one by one.
And you can just excellent. Thank you. Then it should be the same.
So
I'll check it out.
I'm thinking the I Ching might have the same thing. I haven't looked,
awesome.
But
it's been on my list of things to investigate. So thank you. We'll check that out afterwards. Because 100%, Brooke, if you're working on a Gene Key for the week or you're working on for the activation, 100%, that'd be great to be running to support. I've done it with the holograms that have been programmed before, and they're amazing. So, all right.
I didn't realize that you could do single bark flowers or the I Ching at all.
Yeah,
but it's good news. Obviously, if it's
you can go in there and choose a single remedy.
Cool. Good stuff. Thank you.
Right. What do you reckon, Dan? We go into a little bit of news?
Yeah, news it up, Marky.
Sweet. So speaking of the resonance, many of you may have experienced, or your clients. So by the way, it's from what it sounds like in the American meetings and from the people that I know, the Healys from the promo offer are landing. Devin got hers just today. So she ordered about halfway into the promo in week 2. So they are landing, they are getting delivered. They did have a few days where there were no stock in the warehouse, but then they've had thousands more come in, and it just takes time to scan them all, get them prepped and send out. So the Healys will be on their way. Super cool. Now, there was a big update done to the Resonance app about 2 weeks ago, approximately. Then that update, as we shared in that group, was super awesome because it gave the ability to reset your master key for your resonance yourself. Now, as you guys have experienced, this has been a real thorn in our side for a long time, and it's been really hard for customer support because these devices wouldn't get activated properly when they're sent out from the third-party shipping. And so then what would happen, they get to the customer and then they need to reset the master key. But because it hasn't been, because you had to write into customer support, they were just getting hundreds of these tickets all the time, and it's a fairly straightforward process. Now they've actually implemented an option if it asks you, if you're reinstalling the Resonance and it asks you for your master key, you will see in small writing underneath a bit that says reset master key. So now you can do it yourself by clicking that. You do need the latest app, the update to the Resonance app, so you can just reinstall it if you have to. But when you click that, it'll reset the master key for you. And then you got to make sure you save that master key. So on that note, that's really good news. It's going to fast track things, take a lot of pressure off customer support and get things moving. Now, just reminding again with the master key, people often get, whenever they see glitches and problems that are happening, they get nervous about their data and security. And so just want to reaffirm that that master key, the reason that Healy can't open your information up so you can access it again if you lose your master key is when you scan, say you scan your frequency, you add a client to your database, then at that point, if you back that up to the Healy cloud, then what happens is all of that data gets matched against your master key, and that is used to create a really complex encryption process. So basically what leaves your phone makes absolutely no sense to anyone. The best hackers in the world would struggle to spend a lifetime to kind of crack it open. But as soon as you get the master key, it combines the secret code that unjumbles it. So that's why if you lose your master key, that backed up data is all lost. And that is for your safety and your security. So some people got a bit pissed about it. And it's like, well, that's actually what creates the security. Now, so that's great. We can reset the master keys and get people going. Because of this update though, we've seen there has been some side effects that have come from this. So we've had people that have been struggling with the Healy Resonance. A lot of you might realize it's taking quite a while to load. So when you hit Resonance, it comes up with that disclaimer page, and then you click next. When you click next, it looks like it's just spinning, and a lot of people have thought of it as crashed. And so what they're doing is they keep on starting it and then stopping it after about 30 seconds or so. But what you'll find is, for hopefully everyone, if not most people, if you leave the Resonance, it takes about 2 minutes at the moment, which is not acceptable long-term, but it's just part of the bug that's happened while they're fixing other things. So at the moment, it's taking about 2 minutes, give or take, for the Resonance to fully load up. So when you get to that page, just leave it there up to 5 minutes, walk away or whatever you need, and then come back and check. If it's still not loading then there's a problem. So that's just to let you know that. Part of the reason I believe this is happening is they did put out an email saying that they're doing some updates to the Healy cloud, the medical cloud, where all the data gets synced and stored and all the rest. And they're working on the cloud at the moment and that will fix that delay. So they're very aware of it. There's no need to write in and complain about it. They're very, very aware. And so they're working on solutions to get that to move faster again. But they're also working on some other cloud issues with some database updates and things like that that are happening. So just wanted to let everyone know that they're very aware that there are some issues right now with the Resonance app. It is a bugger, and there are some of you that might not be able to actually download and update. You know, I know my mate Jason, his is only getting to about 10% of downloading the databases and then stopping. And so he hasn't been able to get it past that, resetting of the app, etc. And I've heard that a few times from different people. So if you're one of the unlucky ones that's happened, all you can do there is just write into customer support to let them know my database is stopping at 10%. Make sure you take screenshots so you've got a backup if you don't ask for them. And just hopefully we're going to see results in the next week or so. Healy are doing everything they can to sort that out, and it will get fixed. But like with anything, it's just a matter of a bit of time and patience. So that's that one. And what else is there? I think that's about it. The stock's coming, things are moving. The promos, settled down now. So if you guys are aware, we do have that promo for Munich. They are planning on the Munich gathering in March 2021. It looks like the collective story around COVID and different things is shifting and moving. So there's a good chance that actually will go ahead. I didn't think so when I first heard about it, but the storylines are inverting at the moment. So it's going to be really interesting to see what 2021 brings. But there is that promo. You'll see at your dashboard, it tells you how many more points you need to get to the next level where you can get free accommodation, free tickets, etc. And yes, so Teresa, I just saw your message there about the faster. Thank you, because that was the other part I wanted to bring in. And I get this just from listening to that American update, which is really worth tuning into. But they've been wanting to let everyone know that there is a dedicated team working on fast starts. And so the fast starts are being rolled out. They've had to gather a team just for that, because in America alone, there were thousands and thousands. It was massive because of that promo offer that happens, an extension. Also, they wanted to let people know that because there was these fast start extensions where instead of 30 days, it went to 60 days or whatever it turned to be, the payouts were delayed as well, because they can't calculate and close off the fast start until the fast start period is closed. So you'll start seeing, if you haven't already received it, you should start receiving your cash bonuses from the fast start, and you should start seeing the fast start devices coming out. But again, they are not top priority when it comes to getting stock out, but they are recognizing they need to get them. They have a team working on it, and they are a priority. So they are now that these other things have been sorted, they're really getting those moving as well. So I can't tell you when they're going to come. I always make sure when I'm bringing people on to let them know, look, could take a couple of months. It's often like that with any company. The bonuses can take some time. There's a month for the fast start to actually finish, and then there's time for it to be processed. And once it's been processed and then actually sent out, it can take a little bit of time, but they will come, if that makes sense. All right. So I think that's the updates from me. Everything's kind of moving along. The websites are moving, but again, we don't have any solid updates. Things are constantly moving. And it's exciting times.
Quick question. How long, is it just the month span that we have to make those points for the Munich? Or how long do we have to make those points?
No, I believe is it till November? Was it?
Okay, because it says I need like 1,500 more points personally. And I didn't know if that was just within the month time period.
I'll find the flyer. The flyer is in one of the announcement groups, and I'll flick it in. But I believe it started at the start of September as well. So the second half of the promo period counted those points towards it, which was a great booster for a lot of people. Yeah. And I will share that in their book. Now, the other thing as well around that is, some of you may have noticed with commissions, with binary commissions, dual commission, there is a cap that comes into place. We have talked about this before, but they've been bringing it up again. At the moment, we're getting about the caps hitting at about 85% approximately, which means about 15% of our collective commissions are being reduced over, because there's been, way too much kind of going into the system. And Rick Fleshman in the general manager meeting was bringing this up again, just letting people know part of the reason for this is that we don't have the qualification thing each month. In the future, once subscriptions and things are happening, we will all need to have a kind of like a qualify each month by having 50 PV, for example, of purchases of our own. And that little barrier creates a kind of difference between the commitment to the business and those who have just jumped in, cashed in, and kind of taken off in a way, and then no longer contributing into the space. And when there's a lot of people with no membership fees, no kind of qualification, it sounds great, but it's not the best for creating the right ecosystem to encourage the right behaviors, etc. And so one of the side effects of having it so free and open is that a lot of people are drawing out commissions all over the place, and it's creating the cap needs to come in to help kind of, that's where the commissions stop. Once this all changes, which will be in 2021, if not before, once we get the website going and the subscriptions going, we're going to see that cap disappearing. The cap should only ever come in times of very strange times where everything kind of lined up in a month, and it's just there as a backup mechanism. So we're hitting it every month at the moment. So just letting you know, if you're wondering why your commissions are being reduced a bit by about 15%, that's why. And once things start shifting and changing, they are working on a solution to that too. Cool. So any questions? Well, Dan, did you want to speak into, I don't know if you want to, bro, but the Gene Key that we're in at the moment?
I'll let Teresa do that. Now that's her life's work. Is it your life's work, Teresa? Is it your birthday in the next couple of days?
She says her mic doesn't work on those headphones in the chat.
Give us a. Maybe? No. That's okay. I was only
Okay,
joking.
I can hear you on there now. I just have to take the headphones off for it to work. And I live in a studio and I'm not by myself. My life's work, yeah, my birthday's in 2 days. My life's work is seriousness, overcoming seriousness. Seriousness, delight, and ecstasy, I believe that one is. 46.
46 program with the 25, which is a juicy combination.
Yeah.
Yeah. Has anyone got any other questions? I can speak into that, but that's sort of going off on a bit of a thread, a different thread.
You don't need to go into that.
I really hear it, and I've just put you on the spot.
I'm very curious. Feel free if you want to use the rest of our time with that. But I did want to talk about, I know the resonance has been giving people issues, but I did just put in the chat here that the Pink app has not been connecting for me. And then I deleted the app, and when I scanned the barcode and went back in, it just shows it just says the tan therapist thing, and do you want to connect to that? But there's no other programs. What do you suggest if that happens to somebody?
Gotcha. Have you tried
all the programs are missing?
Yeah. Have you tried doing a hard reset on the Healy itself?
That's what I did. I did the hard reset. That didn't work. So I deleted the app, opened the app again, scanned the barcode, and then when I got in, there was nothing. And I'm trying to do it again, and it's just not working.
Yeah. Have you gone to settings and update?
Oh, so in the drop-down menu, you can click on settings.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I have not tried that.
If you go into there to settings and click update, then it should update and bring all those programs in.
Oh, okay. Great. That's
and if
easy.
it doesn't, Teresa, if that doesn't, let us know if it does work and it's all good. And if it doesn't work, then I would recommend writing into the customer support on that, because if you've done the hard reset, if you've done the updates, and it's also good just to also, when you do it, to turn your phone off and on as well, make sure the phone's had a reboot, because that can sometimes glitch. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
It's just one of those with tech. If you turn everything off, reset everything, and then go back on, then that's always a good way to make sure you've got possible ghosts.
Okay. Great idea. Thank you.
So I do have a question. So my little Healy, its clip broke. I know that they do have a warranty on them for 2 years, but is that included? Because it's happened to me and Jesse and Hava, and it's 3 people out of 20 have had their clip broke. Julie's clip broke too. So it just seems like they should do it. Literally was on the outside of my jean pocket, and I hit it with my hand and it just snapped right off. Yeah. So they're not very durable.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I remember someone was complaining about that in the very early days. And I was like, let me have a look at this clip. And I started looking at it, and then it just broke with as I was pulling it. I put a bit of pressure on, but it should have handled that. So it looked like the plastic was quite soft in the mold that had been done. So I'm wondering if it's, because when these clips get made, there's a, injection molding, I believe, where the chemistry of the plastics, sometimes if they're not done right, can weaken the plastic. So I'm wondering if there's batches that might be weaker than others. Either way, what the first step is to send a support ticket in asking for the clip to be replaced. It's not something that you can buy off the thing, so it's something that they'll need to send and replace. Then the other part is the other option. I mean, I'd recommend doing that anyway. And the other thing is you should have in the box 2 other attachments. One is just a square piece of plastic that just blocks it, so there is no clip at all. So you can replace it with that. And to replace the clip, it's just like replacing a watch band. It's like one of those springy little metal bits. So you just got to get a knife or something and pull it back and it will spring out. The other clip is it has a little hole in it. It's for a, what do you call those things you put, a lanyard. You know, you put a lanyard, like a festival one, around your neck. So what you can do is put the one with a hole in it and then just clip a lanyard onto it. And that's one that some people actually prefer. You can just have it around your neck and it can hang down through the shirt or however you want to wear it. But that's a temporary solution for now, while you're waiting. Yeah.
Yeah, that might be better, just because it's such a selling point to have it on and be like, people just see cords and they're like, they don't even like what's going on. When they see the Healy, they're like, what's that? Like, what is that? You know, when it's actually out. So it's just it's a big marketing tool for Healy. So I think it's something that in general they would want to like really address and fix, because that is a huge marketing tool to be having it on the outside of your clothes, walking around using it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so please do make sure you send in a support ticket anyway, just so that they've got that little bit of, not hassling them, but the pressure to know that it is an issue. They're hearing it from enough places. And we've been saying from the beginning. So I think they are well aware. It's more a case of just they're having to prioritize which part they're focusing all their energy on. But as we go further on, they get more capital. Well, they've got the capital now. They've got more brain. Now's more the challenge of turning the capital into action, and it's getting a team that's reliable and solid, you know, in the conditions we've got. So that's growing really fast. So I think we're going to start seeing the solutions compounding and coming quicker, and they are well aware about that clip. And yeah, hopefully they'll get that sorted.
Cool.
Nice.
Thank you.
All right. Might be a short one today. Fair.
Yeah, and I know that we never got to the training that I was offering as far as just training for videos, as far as like Instagram and Facebook and all that. So if you guys want to do that another week, we could start, you know, having, I know Teresa and I have things we can teach as far as marketing or speaking to people, just things like that. I'm sure we can start to do some kind of team training as well, so that there's a little more structure to these.
Absolutely. And Brooke, see, I'd love if you guys kind of format how it feels good for you guys, and then I can kind of just be there to help answer some, you know, the tech questions and things like that. And then you guys take the charge and run this how you want to run it, and that'd be awesome. Because I think it's a great idea, Brooke. You know, having those things that are adding value, not just going over Q&As every time, would be great.
Cool. Yeah, maybe like every other time or something, we can figure something out.
For sure. So how would you want to go about organizing that? Do one of you guys want to take charge on that, or?
Teresa, do you want to powwow on that and get back to everybody? Like, I'm sure, I know she has some things she can teach. I have some things I can teach, at least to start off. And then if you guys see things that you know that can add value, or if anyone in the team sees things they could add value with, it'd be super great to all have it be a collaborative thing. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, but I can start. I can start and do that. And if you want, we can do it. I think. Hold on one second. I'm moving to Austin for a week. I leave on the 29th, so I leave the day after our next meeting. I think I'm going to skip doing it that week, just because I leave in the early in the morning the next day, and I don't want to have to be like super on the ball. So I'm driving to Austin. So yeah.
Coolio. All right.
But I could do it the following week, like the 5th, Monday the 5th.
All right. That sounds good, Brooke, because then if you allow Monday 5th, there's a couple of weeks. It gives you time so you're not stressing and rushing it. And then maybe you and Teresa can have a chat between now and then. And next week we can kind of, well, next week, you know, let's jump in. I've totally forgot, actually. And I can run through those questions, you know, the little thing that we put together, and have a bit of fun with that next week, maybe. And then we can go the week after that. You can take the lead. And sound good?
Great. Works for me.
Nice. Dan, can you remind me about the Tuesday? Put the pressure on you. Nice.
No, I mean, remember yourself. Write it down.
Already forgotten. Beautiful.
All right, my friend. Nice to see you all. Thanks for turning up.
All right, guys, have a beautiful week. Thank you.
Soon.
Keep enjoying it.
Bye.
Ciao.
All right, see you, everybody.